Welcome, one and all, to the Richmond Raceway for CiL Prospect Series Round 3 tonight in the CiL Cup Series family of races. I am Nick Stockner, and I'm joined here by my colleagues Jeremy Miller and Jared Kaler to give you one heck of a show tonight. Gentlemen, how are we feeling about tonight's proceedings?
It's gonna be a fun one. We've done a short track one time before here in CiL, and turned out to be quite the show. Fun thing is though that this season, the short track almost seems like it's more normal than we've done so far. Started off with a couple wild cards here at Talladega and Watkins Glen, unusual wild card races, and some drivers might be more of a normalizing race to get the third race of the season going here. So we'll see what we got here tonight, and hopefully we can keep it pretty cleanish and have a good run.
Yeah, I definitely think after you had those kind of first two wild card rounds, you're gonna kind of see who kind of gonna start prevailing as maybe a championship favorite here. As this is really the first oval where you kind of have to watch your throttle, watch your steering, and so forth going forward.
Yes, exactly, Jared. Watching your throttle, watching your steering. A new twist to this next gen car is that you're actually shifting at Richmond. That is a first, at least as far as I can remember being a NASCAR fan. I would have never imagined having to shift here at Richmond, but these cars will do it. They have to shift from fourth to fifth gear on the front stretch, and it is one wild little tidbit of just information. And we're going to look at the weather for tonight's event. Looks to be that we have an 88-degree, partly cloudy skies, a 133-degree track temp, winds at 2 miles per hour to the north, and it is noon race time here in wonderful Henrico County. Jared, do you have 3 keys to the race tonight for anyone thinking they can have a chance to win this race?
I mean, that weather, like you said, it's going to be hot and slick out here today. So I think definitely going to be conserving those tires, both front and rear. I think, especially if we get some long green flag laps underneath our belt, I think conserving those tires is going to be a big thing. I don't think fuel mileage is going to be that big of an issue. I was overhearing some of the drivers, and they were kind of talking about that you could probably make it all the way on fuel. So I think fuel's not going to be that big of an issue, but tires, I think, are going to be the key here.
And Jeremy, this track is a short track. Short tracks, we have a bunch of different moves. We have the bump and run, chrome horn, things like that. Do you expect that to be used tonight?
Oh, 100%. I'd be shocked if it didn't happen. But, one of the things that, seeing as though I raced here in the Prospect last season when we were at North Wilkesboro, which is probably our, closest representation of what we're going to get here tonight. One of the things is you're going to see a lot of aggressive racing. You're going to see a lot of cautions, but you're going to have a lot of opportunities to play out strategy. And, one of the keys to winning this race tonight is you need to have the right tires at the end of the race to make the move that you need to. So, but yeah, 2 keys to the race tonight: survival and strategy, I think.
Of course.
I think another thing's definitely going to be not getting everyone around you mad. If you get people mad early on in the race, they're definitely going to be wanting to get back at you later on in the race.
All right. And we got a short field here tonight, so there's not going to be a ton of separation there.
We hope not only 9 cars in tonight's field. It is a short field. But this is also a short race. As I do recall, it's looking to only be about 60-ish laps, 70 laps tonight. 70-lap feature. A lap around here is about 22 to 23 seconds. And we're getting ready for qualifying. All 9 of our entries tonight have 8 minutes to perform 3 qualifying laps to as quick as they can. And we got 1 car rolling out here. Jared and Jeremy, take turns. Take us around this racetrack here with Thomas Toomey in the Virginia car.
Well, definitely here he's lining up for this first flying lap. He's running high, kind of arcing it down low, see if he can get the run down the banking. I don't think the first lap is really the strong suit, but you're going to dive down to turn 1 here. Make sure the rear kind of sticks up, and looks like it didn't right there. Looks like you got kind of loose going into turn 1, and I think this lap's going to be a throwaway lap for him.
Yeah, this is really going to be a balancing act that we see here in qualifying. This is a very, say, a delicate balanced track. You got to get the line just right in order to get your fastest lap here. So, you can't be too aggressive. You got to focus on hitting your marks. You got to focus on getting the throttle at the right time, and we'll see what happens. But Jared, how important would you say the track position is for the race here tonight?
I think it's going to be pretty important, but then again, you only have 9 people here in the field, so if you go to the back, you're not going to have too much ground to make up. But I think a unique characteristic that we haven't really seen on the ovals too much is that shifting. As Thomas Toomey's pulling in on this lap, I think you did see on that front stretch there, though, he was shifting there a little bit.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see. People might take a little bit different strategy there. Some people will shift right before the corner, use a little bit of that engine braking, use that quick turn right away, and some people might try to carry a little bit more speed through the middle of the corner before they shift. What do you think is going to prevail?
I'm personally a fan of using the engine to kind of help you brake going into turn 1. Kind of helps keep the rear a little bit more settled, in my opinion. So that's what I think I would want to do if I was in the driver's seat here tonight.
Get it done with and then focus on the throttle the rest of the way.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd say probably the same way.
We got Ryan Fenty here completing another one of his laps. Looks like he's diving down low. Going to come back up to the top there, and
Good
lap
enough
change there. It's good enough for second right now with a 23.01 there from Ryan Fenty. Another interesting characteristic about this racetrack is that the start-finish line is not in the direct middle of the corner. It is actually near turn 4. So a lot of times near the end of the race, that's very crucial, as a drag race off of turn 4 is a very short one instead of, like a usual straight to the line.
I was not aware of that. I thought it was directly in the middle, that tri-oval.
Well, if you want a couple more facts, Richmond Raceway, it's one of my 3 home tracks, being a native Virginian. It sits in downtown Richmond in one of the 3 counties in Henrico County, and that's grandstand you see there on the entrance into turn 1, that very tall one. That's actually the tallest building in Henrico County. Just another little fact for you there.
And as you were just saying that, Alex Hallinar just went to the top of the time sheets with a 22.834, knocking off Thomas Toomey. Those top 2 times are pretty close, so should be a pretty interesting race there for the front position.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's going to be very hard to count Hallinar out tonight, or not bet on Hallinar tonight. And I think that he's, to this point, still undefeated in the Oval Series and the CiL prospect, is he not?
Yes, I do believe in his 2 attempts, he has won both of them. He won a lone Vegas attempt last season, and in his 1 attempt this season at the Glen, he also won that race. So he's looking to keep his 100% streak alive. Another car had jumped near the top of the order. Jake Cummings finished out his qualifying run in P3 with a 22.924 time. It's only about, I believe that is 900ths of a second off time. So he's also right up there, looking to maybe make a move out of it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be very, really interesting to see tonight who has qualifying pace versus who has race pace. At a track like this, it's really easy to burn up tires, and it's going to be interesting to see how well these top 3 can actually hold those times consistently throughout a run here.
Yes, in fact, actually looking through the entire list here, out of the 8 times set so far, they're all within a 0.6 of a second blanket. Now, granted, this is a short track. 0.6 of a second is a decent chunk of time, but that's still relatively close. The first top half of the field is covered within 0.1, and then after that, it starts to get a little bit more spread out. But it's looking like a 4-horse race here right now from the qualifying pace.
Ooh. Jake Cummings coming out to qualify 3rd. We've seen a little bit of speed out here from this season. I believe he's a newcomer to CiL from University of Wisconsin. See how he can shake it up here tonight.
Well, let's take a look here. I think there's one car yet to qualify. Jordan Reiki. See if he's considering running a lap or not.
Looks like he had quite a bit of speed in practice, but maybe he just decides to start from the back and play it safe here tonight.
Could be it. See if the stewarding room or anyone would see if he's considering running a lap tonight, qualifying. If not, there's only 2 minutes left in the qualifying sessions. No big deal. But looks to be 70 laps tonight for our main event, and well, for the event of the Prospect Series. I know from my own personal testing, the tires do not last 70 laps. So these boys are going to be a little bit difficult. Jeremy, Jared, how do you feel tire saving is going to come into play here tonight?
I'm feeling it's going to be, well, we've seen on this next gen car that, sometimes it might not result in quite the fall off of speed as we've seen in the past, but it's still absolutely going to be important, especially here on the short track. Now, something that I found in my personal official races is that, not here, but a very similar track, Iowa. This was the only time that I've ever actually blown a tire in iRacing, which I didn't even realize was possible up until that point. But I think I ran about 60 laps or so, or about 50 or 60 laps or so, and figured it was not a good idea to pit. I had the fuel to make it to the end, and suddenly I have no steering whatsoever. I'm just pushing straight, and I have a meatball flag saying you need to come in to get damage repairs. You're going to be disqualified. So if somebody does try to pull that strategy, that is a very strong possibility, I believe, tonight.
I also think, not only are your lap times going to start dwindling or getting worse and worse and worse as the run goes on, but that car is also going to get a lot harder to drive, and it's already pretty difficult to begin with to drive. So if that rear tire kind of starts going away, oh man, these drivers are going to have their handful for sure.
Yes, indeed. And we have advanced to the next session. Looks like we are going to go and do a little 5-minute warm-up. These drivers will get 5 minutes to make small adjustments to the car, either through steering ratio or through steering offsets, seeing if they need a little bit of changes with the steering box.
Be a little bit of brake bias here.
Yeah, a little bit of brake bias adjustments, seeing if these cars need a little bit of changes here and there. Chat between the drivers tonight looks like a little bit of friendly banter amongst some drivers here in some chats over the radio. Radio comms are always fun here in the CIL.
Always colorful. Never
Of course. Can't really recall ever having a bad time on the CIL radio chat in my career. Overall, hoping to have a good run. Hoping a lot of cars have good runs tonight. Hoping no one really self-spins. It's looking mighty difficult. I know in my own personal testing, I maybe spun the car about 20 times. I don't know about y'all, but it is definitely tough to gauge the limit of what the car can do here.
Oh, absolutely. Especially as tires start to wear and go on. And I think one of the things we're also going to see here tonight is that you're going to see, once people start, playing a balancing act, and once they start getting challenged for position, maybe they try to get a little bit more out of the car than they really have and find out that they really weren't able to put that much more into it without getting it around. So,
alrighty, now we're going to take a look at our starting lineup here. Starting on the pole tonight is Alex Hallenor out of State University, New York, Binghamton, followed by the alumni from University of Virginia, OWR driver Thomas Toomey. In P3, Jake Cummings from Wingate University, a student, followed by in fourth place Ryan Fenty, a student at St. Joe's University. P5 is Matthew Tucker out of Jacksonville State, and P6 is another Orange Wheel Racing driver, Cody Fadenhauer, in the 804 VCU alumni Chevrolet. P7 is Ethan Head in the 8 car of the University of Tennessee at Knoxville Chevrolet. P8 is Andrew Burrell in the Clemson University Ford Mustang, another OWR driver, and rounding out the field is Jordan Reiki in the number 92 UAH Toyota Camry TRD. And the pace car is rolling around here. Looks like we're going to have one lap to green here, and cars are getting settled in here. It's looking to be one heck of a show here tonight.
Is
Pace
that
cars.
Jake Cummings, Wingate University? I had thought that it
Jake,
was UW.
Jake Cummings is from Wingate.
Okay.
UW is Sam R. He's a road racer, I do believe.
Ah.
Last time I checked. Not certain about that, but and one more lap here. Pace car's going to go around 2 times for us tonight. Drivers give one last opportunity to check their gauges, check their systems, seeing if everything is in good working condition.
Who do you
Maybe
gents
two.
have for the race tonight here?
My personal pick is going to be Thomas Toomey. I think he's got it. I think he's got it under the bag. He's done a lot of work. He does a lot of different series where they run long distances. I think he's got the tire saving down. How about you guys?
I'm going to give Jeremy the low-hanging fruit here, but I'm going to go with Ryan Fenty. I've raced with him a lot. When he's on, and I think tonight could be a good night for him.
Well, I guess that leaves me with Alex Helenar. Like I've said before, he has yet to lose in the CIL Prospect Series here, and starting on pole, he's got
Pace
everything
car off.
he would need.
We're bringing the noise here in Richmond. Hallinar off to a really rocket of a start. As they're 2-3 wide behind him, Hallinar jumps down to the inside here for turn 1. Jared, how's it looking?
He got a phenomenal start right there. Got a really good jump, able to leave everyone in the
already in
car of the wall back there. I don't think it's going to bring out a yellow. I think we're going to stay green right here.
Yes, looking green right now. Not certain which car in the wall, but as we go to the top 2, Toomey, he's lining up Hallinar ever so closely. Hallinar got a really good jump off the start, but Thomas Toomey, he's coming right to him. Jeremy, you seen anything out there?
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that was Fadenhauer we saw on the wall, and got in the wall early. That's unfortunate, but it looks like he only lost 1 spot here. He's still in 7th, but
Thomas Toomey just went to the lead right here, going into turn 1.
Pass for the lead. Thomas Toomey, he just shoots right up there. Boys, Hallinar didn't really give him that much of a fight. I'd be thinking he's doing a little bit of saving right now in the strategy.
Yeah,
I feel we're seeing smart players throughout the field here. Everybody's kind of getting in line. This isn't your typical, dive bomb fast new car. People aren't quite as comfortable here, and so far it looks like the field's going to play it smart and see how the race plays out before they start getting aggressive with each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's really early on in this race. There's no reason to kind of push the envelope and push the issue, try and make people upset. You're only a couple laps into the 60-lap race. So, if a guy's on your inside, maybe it's smart to just let him go and see if you can get him on later back in the run.
Yes, indeed. Get him later back in the run. Right now, we're only 5 laps into this 70-lap event. The laps do tick by faster at Richmond. It's only about 23-second laps, but still, it is a long race considering the field size. Jake Cummings right now running in 3rd. We didn't pick him, but if there was a 4th cast member, I think they would have picked him because he was also up there. But he's right now getting hounded by Ryan Fenty of the St. Joe's Camry right there, all over the rear diffuser. Looking poised to make a move, but looks like so far Cummings is making good use of that rear bumper and some blocking. Jeremy, you seen anything out there right now?
Yeah, we're seeing Fenty start to hound Cummings out there, and I think Fenty's trying to play it smart here. He's saying, hey, I don't have the outright speed to go by him without effort here. Remember, when you try to make passes, if you can't make easy pass, we got Matthew Tucker in the wall, but looks like we're staying green, but if you can't make that pass easily, you're going to burn your tires trying to do it. So sometimes it's a little bit better to let off and hang out behind the car, wait until he burns up his tires, and then make the move.
Yeah, I definitely think he's maybe trying to look for a way around him, maybe trying to apply some pressure, maybe see if he can get a mistake out of him. But it looks like he's going to dip down to the inside, get alongside. You're going to go side by side here down the front straightaway.
See, his Cummings is going to get that big pull off the corner there, but
side by side down the front stretch ahead, down into turn 1. Looks like, almost there. I think there was maybe some contact, maybe not. They're really close to each other heading down for turn 3. Looks like Fenty maybe getting a little bit frustrated. Jared, would you say that?
No, I think maybe he just kind of got a little bit squirrely off 2 and you're just trying to not cause an issue too early on. And sometimes, when you're trying to back out of a situation, that can get you into a situation. So we'll see what keeps developing here as the race goes on.
It looks like he's getting good runs, but he's not quite getting them in the place that he needs to in order to get side by side with Cummings down the straightaway. So.
And just a little side note, Matthew Tucker has made it to pit road after being in the wall, supposed broken toe link. This new damage model that has been appearing for these new cars, it's brand new. It's only about 1 week old. They're more realistic now, because in the real life series, NASCAR, seems like you tap the wall, you've broken a toe link. Same thing must have happened to Matthew Tucker right there. But we're looking back at the front. Thomas Toomey is 0.8 of a second ahead in the lead. He's running a 23.4 right now in terms of pace. Alex Helenar also running a 23.4. Would you believe that they are just simply saving their stuff, waiting till the end to get feisty?
Well, you got Helenar. I think he's over a 4,000 I rating, so he knows what he needs to do in order to win races. And remember, we still got a fuel stop to go here in this race, so I think that right now those leaders are just focused on running their race. As we see, Toomey has pulled up away a little bit of a lead. It'll be interesting to see how within 10 to 15 laps here, how his tire conservation has worked versus Helenar's.
Yeah, I mean, I was behind Toomey the whole race at Watkins Glen, and he was pretty good at conserving his tires and able to get the most out of them just until the very last lap of the race. So I have a feeling Thomas Toomey kind of knows what he's doing right here.
Indeed, he does. And back to the battle for third, Cummings and Fenty. They're still nose to tail right now. Cummings taking a little bit of a higher line in 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit of a tire saving strategy, maybe not. Fenty continuing to dive straight down to that yellow line. There's multiple ways to go around Richmond. As they like to say, it's a 3/4 of a mile short track, but it races like a 1.5 cookie cutter. The tempers are like a 1/4 mile short track on a Saturday night.
It's all over contact there.
He used the bumper. He used the bumper.
All right, Fenty has lost a little bit of patience here.
Or is it Cummings slowing down, using that bumper as a block?
Well, I think what we're seeing here is it looks like Cummings is getting out of the gas early, making sure that he's actually going to be able to hold that bottom line. He's using that to hold Fenty up, whereas it seems like Fenty is driving a little bit deeper into the corner, which might give him a little bit better lap time, but when he has to check up for Fenty, or when he has to check up for Cummings, it's creating a big issue for him, so.
Indeed, it's looking really tight right here. This is where the most action's happening right now. That last lap, Cummings ran a 23.8 to Fenty's 23.8. They are dead even on pace.
We're going to see something here.
Yeah, I mean, there's only going to be so many breaks. Fenty's going to cut Cummings here. Maybe it looks like they settled down just a little bit, but I'm sure this battle's going to heat back up really, really soon.
Now, Fenty needs to try and mimic kind of what Jake is doing, maybe back that corner up a little bit and focus on getting a good run off the corner, getting a good drive off the corner in order to get alongside him on the straightaway, because he can get under him midway through the corner, but he's not going to be able to pull him then once he's there. So.
Looks like he's going to dip down to the inside right here, get alongside of him going into turn 1. Ryan Fenty getting the nose ahead, but it looks like Cummings is going to get the run off.
Yes, Fenty got a little bit squirrely there. Cummings was playing it smart, dipped him down a little bit low, pinned him down there. Fenty couldn't get the run off the corner, but here off turn 4, it's the same story. You can't get that good a run off the corner. That's why a lot of times you're going to see a car run about a lane higher. They can get a good run off the corner. They can save some tire. And Fenty's trying his best right now. He has a little bit of that pace advantage, but as they run down to turn 3 again, he's going to have to just simply send it. He's not really thinking right now about how he can, possibly maybe dictate the corner a little bit more, run a different line, force Cummings even higher. What would you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, right now what I'm noticing is I'm putting a little note in my mental checkbook for tomorrow night. That outside line, it looks like it's a stronger line when you're side by side with someone, as you see Ryan Fenty going back in line. So it looks like if you can kind of protect that outside line, you can give them the inside and you might be able to hold your position.
And every single lap, these two are battling side by side. Remember, they're tearing their tires apart. I think Fenty even more than Cummings at the moment, because Cummings is able to just kind of back it up in there and get a drive off. But, Fenty, the more time he spends side by side with Cummings, he's just going to keep burning his tires. And even once he gets past there, then he's going to have trouble trying to run down the leaders here. So he needs to think of a way to get by Cummings fast here and then drive a line that's going to help him catch leaders a little bit here, but also conserve his tires throughout the rest of this run.
Well, yeah, I mean, this battle that they are doing, it's allowed Alex and Thomas to kind of pull away. And looks like they're pulling over a 4-second gap. So this battling might be better. Just maybe say, hey, let's get in line and work together here and see if we can run back down the leaders.
And it should be stated here that every driver that's racing tonight's going to make the show tomorrow. That's the prospect is all about making a show on Tuesdays, the Premier Series, but we only have 9 cars tonight. Everyone's going to make the show. It's just a matter right now of just how much glory you're going to take home, how much bragging rights, P3 or P4. You know, for these two, they're really digging for that P3 spot.
Well, and aside from making it to the Premier Series, there is a separate Prospect Series Championship, which is its own, kind of rite of passage or bragging rights in of its own. And I think everybody wants to say I've been a CIL champion, even though it's not the Premier Series. If you win the championship in Prospect Series here, you are a CIL champion.
Indeed. The first Prospect Series last year championship was won by Sean Campbell. And Sean Campbell was notorious for not showing up to all the races, but when he showed up, he won. And he was just that good. He's now doesn't race anymore here. Sadly, he has moved on to greener pastures. But I believe he swept all 3 championships last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually won the relegation points. Don't mean to toot my own horn right there, but
yeah.
And I won the alumni championship. So.
Yes. We can't forget. The class champions, of course.
Right. Yeah.
Of course. Those PDFs. We can't forget those PDFs.
Yeah, exactly. I got my name on a certificate. Count it.
Of course, printed off, hanging up on the wall.
Oh, it's on my fridge. My mom's fridge.
Mama's proud, I'm sure. Back up to the front here, Thomas Toomey. He's got a 0.4 of a second lead over Alex Hallinar right now, and the next piece of the puzzle is coming. Lap traffic.
Yeah, I mean, Toomey just hit the wall or got close to it off turn 2, and it's allowing Alex to close that gap. I wonder if Thomas Toomey kind of burned up his stuff, getting that big of a gap, but like you said, lap traffic is going to be a big factor, and they're coming up on it really, really soon.
It's the 8 car of Ethan Head, that UTK machine. He is just about a second off right now. He seems to be struggling with pace off corners. Common sign of his
here. Yeah, Ethan.
Yes, he is. He's going to jump to the third lane, respectful as is. Seems to be that Ethan Head right now is struggling with rear tire wear, as he's not really getting the jump off the corner that he would like, but he's looking pretty good right now. He's not dead last. Dead last still belongs to Matthew Tucker. Matthew Tucker is lapping out there right now. He's 3 laps down to Ethan Head's 1 lap down, so Ethan Head is the lucky dog car. Next car in line will be Jordan Reike for the lap down, but he is few seconds off yet, so no need to worry about that. The gap between the 2 leaders right now is 0.4 of a second, and it looks like Cody Fadenhauer, Andrew Burrell, 2 OWR drivers, they're having a little go right now. There's only 0.2 between the 2. This is a battle for 5th position. Jeremy, take us through what seems to be going on right now.
Yeah, we got Burrell. He's looking at a similar situation was happening between Fenty and Cummings. You got Burrell looking under Fadenhauer, and Cody's been able to hold it off on the high side there. I think you're going to start to see Burrell start to burn up his... Oh, no. Looks like he's got pushed. We'll see. I think Cody kind of just let him go by. No, Cody's got a wiggle there. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe he's gotten in the wall a little bit, kind of knocked the toe out just a little bit, but it looks like Andrew Burrell's going to go right past him right here.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to hold on, but his car's just not doing quite what he wants it to do. So.
Andrew Burrell to P5 in the Clemson University machine. Looks like he's got a couple sponsors on there tonight. We can take a closer look at that. But
Cody looks like currently he's having trouble cutting down to that bottom line. Like he's just kind of stuck up high, even coming off the corner. Even when looked like he almost got in the wall there, but
Got close there. Looks like he's having a bit of an issue with a little bit tight off corners right now, and he's not really getting a good enough entry. Not really digging in deep there.
Well, we already got to the wall earlier, and he might have a little bit of damage left from that.
He could. Back to the front. Thomas Toomey is only 0.2 of a second now ahead of Alex Hallinar. Last time round, Thomas Toomey ran a 24.5. Hallinar's 24.4. Hallinar is catching him ever so lightly. As here they go, Hallinar looking to have a good run off turn 4. What will he do here into turn 1? It looks like they're just going to settle down for now. Jared, what is the strategy now? Basically halfway in this race, we're now at lap 36. What are these drivers thinking?
I mean, I'm looking at Thomas Toomey, and it looks like he's kind of tight right there through the center of the corner, and I mean, only halfway. If we don't get a caution, these guys don't pit, that issue's only going to get worse and worse and worse as Alex Hallinar is going down to the inside, going into turn 1, side by side, about dead even through the center of the turn. Hallinar are going to run up the track just a little bit, but plenty of space between these two drivers. Toomey get a little bit loose, and I think Hallinar is going to clear him going into the turn. No, Toomey
drives it deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to hold that.
Yeah, it's not going to work for him, and Alex Hallinar is going to go to the point here just past halfway.
And I think what Toomey kind of wanted to try to do there was stay up on that high side and pull, like we saw with Cummings and we saw with Fenty earlier. You know, try to get Hallinar to burn up his tires so he can't challenge as well. But like Hallinar has clean racetrack in front of him and taking off here.
Oh, looks like Toomey's going to come to pit road right here. Strategy call by the 166 team.
He is pitting cars on pit road. Jordan Reike, he's also in pit lane right now. Thomas Toomey, as we follow him down pit lane, what does he think? Looking like a 4-tire stop, maybe?
I'm going to have to say 4 tires, yeah.
All right, no problem at all.
We've had no cautions so far. We just saw, you know, that's going to be really interesting what we just saw there because Hallinar just got there right at about, the 35, 36 lap mark, get by him or get next to him. And, you know, the second run is going to be the same number of laps here. So, could be seeing a last lap pass here if what we've just seen is going to tell us anything about the end of the race.
And Fenty, you see, is on pit road as well. But what these drivers are kind of thinking if by short pitting is that they do not want to see a yellow. They are going to go a couple laps down here by pitting under green. So last thing these guys want to see right here is a yellow flag and trap them a lap down. They want this whole cycle to kind of go through.
Yes, right now it seems like Hallinar, Cummings, and Burrell have yet to pit. Fenty has pitted. He is pitting right now. Would you think Toomey may have decided to pull off the undercut, thinking, I don't have what it takes to go long here. I'm going to go pit, get some tires, and I'm going to beat Hallinar based off pure pace, because Hallinar right now is losing ground.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably had the mindset of, as soon as I'm going to lose the lead here, I'm going to dive down pit road and try that undercut. But Hallinar might be. I wonder if he's going to try and make this whole thing on one without stopping.
That would be absolutely insane. And yeah, because right now, as it is, he's already run about 4 or 5 laps now past what Toomey has, and that's going to end up paying, you know, he's going to have that speed right coming out of the pits, but he's losing seconds to Toomey every single lap right now.
I mean, yeah, he was almost 1.5 seconds off of Toomey. But that being said, you know, Toomey does have to pass him once to unlap himself and then pass him again to retake the lead.
Does indeed. Just for reference, Toomey's last lap was a 23 flat to Hallinar's 24.7. It's almost a 2-second difference. This track is only 23 seconds long. It won't take long to find him again, as Hallinar is dealing with a little bit of traffic right now. Some faster cars that have already pitted. They're looking to get around him.
I think he's got to be planning to try and make the distance here. But even trying to make the distance, you know, we got Toomey's making up 2 seconds a lap. We got, 25 laps left or so? Or what do we have here?
Yeah, 25 laps.
25 laps left. So, you know, we talk about 2 seconds a lap, 25 laps, that's 50 seconds. That's 2 laps.
I'll put him pretty close, if not in front of Hallinar.
Indeed. There must be some smart minds.
Yeah, I was going to say, regardless of what strategy, it seems like Toomey is sitting in the catbird seat right now.
Oh, fade
go around.
Are we going to get a caution? I believe Fadenhauer was not in the racing line when he went sideways. We are going to stay green. Let's take a look at what happened here. Fadenhauer down the turn 1. And, Ethan Head.
Wow.
Ethan Head got a little bit loose there and got in the way. Fadenhauer into the wall. The hometown hero here, Cody Fadenhauer out of Richmond, Virginia. He is not having the greatest day in the world right now. P7 out of 9 and getting affected by the car that was P8 out of 9. Andrew Burrell on pit road.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of your 4-tire pit stops. I do not believe he has he made a pit stop yet? I'm not exactly sure.
I do not believe he has. I think he was going long with Jake Cummings. Now there's only 2 cars that have yet to pit. It's Jake Cummings and Alex Hallinar. And it should be noted, Thomas Toomey is back on the lead lap.
He's only 21 seconds behind, and like you said, 1.5 to 2 seconds lap faster. I think he'll get there at this rate.
Yeah, we're seeing Toomey just ran at 23.3 to his last lap to Hallinar's 24.9. So, yeah, every lap that Hallinar stays out, it'll be close if Hallinar's trying to pull the fuel strategy, but I don't know if he's gonna have the fuel to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this rate though, you're kind of committed to what you're on right now. You kind of dug the hole a bit too deep, and you're not going to be able to get out. You kind of just got to commit with what you're on and
he's lost so much. He's not just going to lose first place. He's going to lose so many other positions as well, which might not be super important to him. But
yeah,
as far as what he wants to accomplish in this race, he has no benefits pitting at this point from what he's lost.
What it's worth, Toomey just blasted around Jake Cummings for second place. It was a move on the outside, something that rarely happens here at Richmond. You don't see passing to the outside too often, but Toomey just did it because of the pure pace advantage because of the tires. His last lap being a 23.7 to Cummings' 25.6. That's a 2-second difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hallinar's probably wanting a caution right here. Kind of realizing that the strategy might not be exactly what he thought was going to happen. So I think he's hoping for a caution.
I think we just had Hallinar come over to radio. Do you think he's looking to pit, or do you think he's made his bet, he's got to lay in it at this point?
I think he's got to lay in his bet at this point. Like I said, there's no benefit to him pitting at this point. If he pits, he not only loses first place, but he loses, he could possibly fall towards the back half of the top 5 here. Yeah, as far as what he wants to accomplish, he's not going to get anything by pitting.
He's got to get out with cars.
We see what people run on fresh tires, and that's not enough to be able to catch Toomey back if he pits now. So,
Gaggle cars around with Fenty looking to make a move. He's on fresher tires, and the move will be made. And here comes Reiki right behind. He's looking to make a move as well. Hallinar, it looked like he may have gotten into the wall there. He was a little bit higher than he would like.
We have Toomey is currently sitting 13.2 seconds back with about 15 laps to go.
I think he's going to catch him. And he saw Jake Cummings go down pit road. I think he was like, all right, I've had enough of this. I need to try and, damage limitation for the strategy. That's probably not going to work out.
Hallinar has a handful right there. You can see him coming off the corner, having to work everything he can in that car to keep it straight.
And it's no consolation that Cummings did a good job. He tried a strategy that's one of the 2 options, and he just simply couldn't hold the tires long enough. It just got a little bit difficult, as it's really looking like Hallinar right now is struggling to rotate the corner. He can dive down in, but he just doesn't really have that speed in the center of the corner to make this strategy work anymore. Because Toomey is just catching him, and there is just a bunch of cars here. We got 3 wide coming into turn 1 here.
Whoa.
It is getting dicey here. Cummings, he's trying.
Putting the leader 3 wide.
Now to the high side.
Do not care.
Hits him. Tucker to the inside. They're all over Hallinar.
This is Hallinar's worst nightmare right here. That was probably worst case scenario.
This is how much Toomey is going to be within 7 seconds, I think, this lap.
If I'm Hallinar after this race, I am going to them and having a discussion, because there is no way that just occurred. And I mean, his strategy was flawed, yes, but it just got completely ruined there.
Yeah, as we take a look at a replay, it looks like Fadenhauer's going to the inside, and then almost in the back of
Fadenhauer
Hallenauer.
at least takes the outside there.
Yeah, and everyone just trying to split the leader there on old tires, and just a little bit of contact between Fadenhauer and Hallenauer. Just man,
Tucker, you're gonna see him just manhandle. Tucker just no remorse. He's 3 laps down, or 4 laps down, I think, at that point.
And if you go back to Hallenauer right now, he's extremely loose off corners now. I think he's lost pretty much all kinds of grip in those tires. And Thomas Toomey is now 2.8 seconds away. We have 10 laps to go here in Richmond. Hallenauer is trying his best with the strategy. Do we see a move of desperation, or do we see a move of conceding?
I don't see a desperation move with this many laps left. Maybe if it was a last lap suicide block, but no, not with this many laps left.
No, Thomas Toomey's got the fishing pole out. He's got Hallenauer on the bait right now. He's just reeling in slowly and surely, and actually a lot quicker than slow. And he's gonna get there really, really soon.
I think it's gonna be next lap is gonna be that soon. I think we see maybe if we see Hallenauer step back out and there. Yeah, we're gonna have to see I think one attempt to try and block him. Yeah.
Oh, they touch the bump and run here at Richmond. Textbook move. Toomey was not having it. He's back to the point here with 8 to go.
He has clean track in front of him.
Hallenauer's so loose down the straightaway. I mean, he's halfway, 3/4 down the straightaway, and that thing is still fishtailing. I mean, he's got his hands full right now.
It's a consolation. We still got Ryan Fenty. He's looking like he's 10 seconds back of Hallenauer, but yeah, I'm sure he's wishing that he rethought that strat. Oh, and as we see him fishtail again. Oh, he's
just
honestly,
holding on
that's
for
going to
dear
be an
life right
accomplishment of it is if he just makes it to the end here.
If I'm Alex Hallenauer, do I just concede and pit, or just take the points? And
I mean, if you're pit at this point, you're not going to finish any better than your best opportunity to get your best finish is to be finishing out what you're doing here.
Yeah, I think you're looking at who's on the lead lap. We only got 3 guys on the lead lap, so I mean, I can see Ryan maybe getting to Alex, but I think besides that, I don't think he's going to lose anything beyond 3rd place. I think if he comes in and pits,
wow, he's handful.
Yeah, I was looking at that off 4 hours.
Like, wow,
and into 1. I mean, he is holding on for dear life. I mean, man, that is wicked.
I will applaud this man if he makes it.
Yeah, exactly. It is wicked that he hasn't looped it around yet.
It has to be some of the best car control we've ever seen out of anyone down here. He's got a handful in that race car. He is not happy about it, and I mean it's just not looking good. The gap.
The gap is closed to, I believe, within 6 seconds here between Hallenauer and Fenty. We only got.
And we have the battle for 4th. The battle for 5th. Reike and Burrell. Burrell to the inside. Reike, will he have the run off the corner? The answer is yes, but is it enough?
We see that Cummings just comes in the doors. Hallenauer. Hallenauer's. Oh man, he's. Oh, I think Hallenauer's got a tire down.
You think he has?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
He has a tire down. He's been hit. He's been hit, and he's in the wall, and Hallenauer is not around. But what seems to have happened there?
That was a blown tire, I think.
He's still going. Let's see if we can get a replay of what just happened.
It looks like you see some serious damage in that right front.
Let's see. This is after after it already occurred. What led to this happening?
I think it's got to be a tire going down. I mean, with how loose that thing was, yeah, I don't see anything else besides a tire going down.
Like I said earlier at Iowa, I had a similar thing. I thought I was good to try to run the whole race and save the time, and found out that you can actually blow a tire in iRacing. So,
he is just limping around right now.
I do believe we have a verdict. It takes 67 laps to blow a tire at Richmond. And Hallenauer just so happens to be the guinea pig in tonight's experiment.
And he's still on track going
Yeah.
for it with a blown tire.
And he's a lap down now. He is vulnerable. He could lose spots. Where's Cummings in the matter? Over the radio quoting a very famous movie about needing some tires.
Cummings has now overtaken Hallinar.
Cummings to P3. Hallinar is going to lose a lot of spots. Burrell overtakes him.
Wow.
Everyone is overtaking Hallinar.
What a finish.
Hallinar will come home to P. We're just so enthralled by this. We forgot that Toomey won the race.
Wow, that was ballsy right there by Hallinar.
I'm going to say props to him, though, on actually bringing that thing home with how loose it was, with the tire down. Still manages to bring thing home.
Thomas Toomey has won this race tonight. He wins by an official margin of 11.495 seconds. His total time tonight was 28 minutes and 31 seconds. And the podium is Thomas Toomey, Ryan Fenty, Jake Cummings, Andrew Burrell doing a little burnout there for his OWR teammate there in Thomas Toomey. And we're going to see if we can't get our top three here in the booth tonight. Thomas Toomey, Ryan Fenty, Jake Cummings. And there's Toomey. He's going to burn it down now.
Burn it down.
He's going to do a little burnout here.
In reverse.
Couple of donuts. He's trying his best. I don't know what's on the screen right now, honestly. But we're looking at a replay. I guess here he is. He's coming to the start-finish line. He's going to let him burn it down a little bit here.
Yeah, seeing on my screen right now, he's taking a sweet time on these burnouts.
I mean, he's got plenty of rubber to spare to do that, those burnouts.
You know, a CIL prospect win is still a CIL win. They're special when you can get them.
Indeed, it is. We're going to try and see if we can't get these lovely, lovely people in the booth tonight. Let's see if we can't have a conversation with our three podium finishers. It is. But while we're waiting, gentlemen, oh, here they are. Never mind. We're gonna pull in our winner real quick, Thomas Toomey. See if we can't get him in here. Move him into the broadcast booth. Thomas Toomey of the University of Virginia, alumni, OWR driver, and CIL prospect race winner tonight here in Richmond. How you doing?
Well, thank you.
And I'll lead you off with the first question tonight. We were entertained by the fact you split the stints, 35 laps apiece on tires, and basically reeled in Hallinar like the movie Jaws. How was that from your end?
It was interesting the way the strategy played out live. I noticed that we were falling off about 2 seconds a lap or more. So I figured with half the race or 30 laps to go, if I split it in half, it would be just about perfect, and it worked out perfectly.
Thomas, at what point were you licking your chops? At what point after you came to pit and you realized that Hallinar had stayed out for a few laps, at what lap you stayed out were you licking your chops big time?
When I unlapped myself.
When you unlapped
yes.
yourself.
Yes, definitely.
So another question here. With this new next-gen car, how does this car kind of drive different compared to the old Gen 6 car here at Richmond?
It's a lot different because you have to shift in the corners. So that's a big deal, managing that late in the run. Late in the run, I wasn't even going to fifth gear. At the end of the straightaway, just kind of letting the engine braking slow the car down.
Well, Thomas, it was a wonderful sight to see tonight, to see you win this race. You have dethroned Hallinar. You have given him his first loss in the Prospect Series. Take that with you, my friend. We'll love to race against you tomorrow in the premiere, and as always, keep racing.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You see that race-winning move there.
Now let's get our second place driver, Ryan Fenty, in the booth. Ryan Fenty, P2 tonight here at the Richmond Raceway Prospect Race. My question here for you tonight is: Did this play out like you expected, or was there some quite frankly just weird things happen during this race for you?
Well, I certainly expected it to be maybe a little bit easier to pass, so I was kind of surprised that I was having to work so hard to get from, one more position up there. And then I kind of just threw it in the pit and hoped for the best at like the halfway point, maybe.
Yeah, that's something I want to ask about. We saw you and Jake Cummings. And it looked like you guys about 5 or 6 laps there had a pretty good battle going. What was going through your head at that time? Were you thinking of trying to use the bumper at some point? Or were you just saying that, hey, I've got to wait it out, wait for the tires to burn off a little bit, and I got to make this pass smart?
I mean, personally, I thought it was a little bit too early to be blocking like that, so I did actually try and use the bumper a couple times before I got around him. So I was happy I finally got around him. It felt like it should have come way earlier than it took me.
So failures are a pretty new thing here in iRacing, and Alex Halinar unfortunately had one pretty much right in front of you. What was going through your mind when you saw Halinar's tire go down right in front of you?
Well, I saw that the ticker start, he was trying to come back to me a lot faster, and I was like, oh, maybe he's just that slow. And then I realized it was a tire failure. And then my next thought was, please don't kill me. I really want to finish this race.
Well, Ryan, it was fun to watch you out there tonight. A P2 finish, looking really good in the championship standings now because of that. We're going to be happy to race alongside you tomorrow night in the Premier Series, and as always, keep racing, my friend.
Yes, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy the night.
Will do, will do. And now to our P3 finisher, Jake Cummings. Jake Cummings, a P3 finish tonight here at Richmond Raceway and Prospect Series. And my question here for you tonight, boss man, is same question I gave to Fenty. Was this expected, or did you face anything that you did not expect in tonight's race?
I didn't really know what to expect coming into this race tonight, to be honest. This is probably the first race I've done on a short track in like a next gen cup car, and with the temperatures how they were, I wasn't really sure. But those recent updates they've made to the next gen car have made it not easy to drive, but a little easier. So when I was comparing my times to everyone else's, I was telling myself, well, I'm up there, but I have no idea how to maintain tires. And then I was thinking, well, there'll be 10 cautions probably, so I shouldn't have to worry about it. And then we didn't have any cautions, so I just kind of followed the leader, and I saw that a lot of people were pitting, and I was telling myself, well, I don't want to be caught a lap down or 2 laps down in this case, so I'd be the last person to do it. But then Alex just didn't really do it, so I just kind of decided, well, I don't like driving as slow as I was driving, so I pitted at like lap 52 or something, and just kind of had some fun at the end, and was fortunate to pick up P3.
Well, yeah,
So
definitely.
we
Sorry.
we kind of heard Fenty's side of the story around that first round, probably 20 or 30 lap battle that you had with him. What's your side of the story going through there?
Just having fun on a 9 car grid here tonight, to be honest. And I'm like, well, he's all I got. I don't really have anyone else to have fun with, because the top two were kind of clear. We weren't really being able to keep pace with them, and then everyone else behind us was 5 seconds back after 15 or 20 laps. So I kind of just I wasn't really defending, to be honest. I was just kind of driving my line, and that just kind of was how it ended up happening. I went deep a few times, but I got the cut back, so I didn't think it'd be so hard to pass here, but it was, and it made for a somewhat entertaining race for me, and I hope Ryan felt the same.
Jake, you've been racing the Premier Series for a couple of weeks here, and based on this race tonight, what are your biggest takeaways for the race coming on tomorrow?
I hope it's colder, but everything that I've seen, at least where I am, it's going to be warmer even than today, and I'm not too far from Richmond, so I guess we'll just have to see. And I mean, we'll have a bigger field, so I'm sure there's going to be some cautions and a lot more depth and strategy to go into the race itself. So uh, it was just good to get some actual race practice because I really don't enjoy just practicing to practice. So having an actual race where you can consider it practice because you're pretty safe to be in the top 16 in points with the 9 car turnout was just nice, and it made it more enjoyable and also a little bit of a workout as well. So definitely some good takeaways was that you cannot take the tires to the end. And Alex, I guess he could have, but it's not fun. So it's going to be, I don't remember how long the race is tomorrow, but it's going to be a question of is it, if there are no cautions somehow, is it going to be 1 stops, 2 stops, or maybe even more? Because, we've seen in the NASCAR Cup Series recently how some people have tried the 2 stop during certain stages, and some people have done just one, and the 2 stop was definitely a lot better. So we'll just kind of have to play it by ear and see how what everyone else does, and just kind of follow whatever is trendy, I guess.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Jake, it was fun to watch you out there tonight. A P3 finish from you, my man. We're going to look forward to racing against you tomorrow in the Premier Series, and as always, keep racing, my friend.
Thank you very much.
And are we getting Halnar in the booth here?
And indeed, we are. We usually don't do this, but we're going to have a fourth interview tonight because we just want to talk to him about those tires. We're going to bring in Alex Alinar real quick.
Hey there, Lightning.
Alex Halinar, you need tires, you idiot. I mean, 67 laps, 3 short. Take us through what happened there at that tire failure.
Yeah, the tires were just gone at that point, and I was pedaling it down the straightaway, and still I can't. I've never had a car that drove so ill handling at that point. I was trying not to wreck down the backstretch.
And
Well, I gotta give it to you here, Alex. That was a hell of a feat for you to get to the end still with that. Not only a tire, not only handling that thing where it's handling bad, but handling that thing once the tire was down and not giving up and keeping that thing going. So, hats off to you at least for keeping that thing going, even with the tire down, being able to finish all the laps of this race.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, I'm done. I'm gonna DNF. I'm like, well, I can still drive this thing, and then I wrecked down the backstretch, and then I was like, shoot, now I'm done. I'm like, okay, I'll keep her going. I just have to drive slow, and there's only 2 more laps. I got this.
Yeah. So, Alex, I was just wondering here real quick. I think we've seen you now in 3 prospect races. I don't know, does that make him eligible now for the Premier Series?
he's been plenty eligible for a while. Halinar, I mean, you won the first 2 races you attempted. This is your first non-win, sadly, and a 4th place finish. But have you learned something for tomorrow, knowing that that race is 85 laps and tires definitely don't last 70? So, are you gonna consider a different strategy?
Well, I think the strategy is going to be entirely different because we're definitely going to have cautions tomorrow. So I don't think there will be an opportunity to go that long. And if anyone does go, 85 laps on a set of tires, they absolutely just do not care about any of the safety of any of the drivers in this league.
So I got a question for you, kind of piggybacking on that strategy question. Was it your strategy going into the race to try and make it the whole way, or were you kind of doing a reactionary to Thomas Toomey pitting and saying, all right, I'm going to do whatever he doesn't do and stay out the whole race?
Oh, I went into the race. As long as it went green, I wasn't going to pit. I just don't like the idea that at short tracks, and it's nothing against the league, it's just the way that, this car track combination handled. It even happened in real life where it was faster to pit like that. I figured I'm not going to do that. If Thomas wants to do that, good for him. I'm going to take it easy. Maybe he decides to stay out, and then I think I had a good shot. I was saving my tires, and if he didn't pit, I think I had a good shot at winning the race, or if no one pitted. But it is what it is. I did something amazing, and yeah, I hope this lives on in CiL history as the most epic finish of a driver, just from a single car perspective.
Well, Alex, it was definitely fun to watch you drive tonight. It was a couple tense moments there with that bee's nest, and then blowing a tire. I don't know if you plan on racing in tomorrow's premiere event, but if you do, all the 3 of us here in
I'll
the
be there.
booth, The three of us here in the booth will be glad to be racing alongside you tomorrow night. And as always, keep racing, my friend.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
So, gentlemen, we're all going to be racing this race tomorrow. What have we learned?
We've learned a lot, but I think we've also learned a little. I think that we're going to have to see what happens here with cautions tomorrow because that's going to entirely change the race, at least from a strategy standpoint. We know we can't make it 67 laps without blowing out a tire. We know that we're going to want to try and split up the runs in half as much as possible, I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how clean that things are going to be tomorrow because I highly doubt we're going to get the green flag runs that we had tonight. But we learned about the importance of tire management. We learned, hey, it's going to be a hell of a tough time passing. Track position is going to be super important. And yeah, we'll have to see where it happens from there.
I mean, if I told you what I learned tonight, I'd kind of be giving away my secrets. But I think we're going to see a totally different ball game tomorrow. I mean, I think you're going to see some cautions, and I think that's really going to mix up the tire strategy. And I mean, I'm interested to see when you get all bunched up together, how quickly can new tires make it through the field. So I'm looking forward to see how that works tomorrow.
Indeed. I learned a lot about what lines work better for defending, how people can take runs off corners and things like that. It's definitely going to be a different challenge. 85 laps and a lot more than 9 cars.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, to the viewers out here tonight, thank you for tuning in with us tonight here for the Prospect Series at Richmond Raceway. It was fun to watch along 70 laps with you all. Hopefully you tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m., same time, same place, Tuesday night here for the Premier Series as they take on the 85 laps of Richmond Raceway. It's been fun. It's definitely been exciting. Y'all have a good night.